Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The chair now recognizes Senator Zahn for Senate Joint Resolution 1. Senator Zahn, do you have a subcommittee report?
Yes, there is. Senator myself and Senator Schultz signed on and recommended passage. Senator Bisignano, I just didn't get the opportunity to ask him if he would want to sign this, although I would probably predict that he probably would not. But I do have, that's the subcommittee.
Thank you. Senator Zahn, you're in order for opening comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a very important bill. We've talked about this. This is now the third different General Assembly that I have floor managed this bill. Our founding fathers made this very difficult to amend our state constitution. We are one of only 4 states in the United States that does not have our Second Amendment rights in our state constitution. And let me just read the language that would, if this is successful, would go to the voters. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The sovereign state of Iowa affirms and recognizes this to be a fundamental individual right. Any and all restrictions of this right shall be subject to strict scrutiny. As I've mentioned, we've discussed this before, and I guess at this point I'd be happy to take any questions.
Questions or comments? Chair recognizes Senator Peterson.
Thank you. I just want to clarify that what this is not the Second Amendment that you're asking to put in the Constitution, in the Iowa Constitution. So I want to make sure that Iowans know what this constitutional amendment does is much, much different than the Second Amendment. Because if you remember, Senate Democrats have all been in favor of putting the Second Amendment in the Constitution. This is not the Second Amendment. This is something that will put into question every piece of gun safety legislation that our state has put in place to protect Iowans, both gun owners and non-gun owners. So make no mistake, this is not the Second Amendment. This is a radical, extreme piece of legislation that is before us today. I'd encourage a no vote.
Thank you, Senator Peterson. Chair recognizes Senator Bolcom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, members of the committee. I would just echo what Senator Peterson said. I rise in opposition to this resolution. This is not the Second Amendment, and Senator Zahn is probably going to try and convince of us that it is. This is an extreme, radical, proposed constitutional amendment that's going to strike things out of the Iowa Code like simple background checks, the requirement to get a permit to carry a concealed weapon. Iowans actually, I don't think, are going to like this radical, extreme set of ideas that are contained in this amendment. You know who is going to like this amendment? The unorganized militia is going to love this amendment. They love to bear arms. They want to get more arms. And this doesn't describe what arms are. Can it be a grenade launcher? Can it be IUDs? It can be anything. Be long knives, swords. Arms are a lot of different things. And the unorganized militia, the folks that tried to overthrow our government a couple weeks ago, they're going to be all for this constitutional amendment. People that don't like the government, want to overthrow the government. That's who wants these arms. So this constitutional amendment is going to make us all unsafe. It's going to make it impossible for us to have any kind of gun safety for the good people of this state. It's extreme, it's radical, and we should vote it down. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Bolcom. Seeing no one else desiring to speak, Senator Zahn, you're in order for closing comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I respectfully disagree about what's been said. Our Second Amendment that our founding fathers wrote into our U.S. Constitution is something that's very important. And there's been many situations where our Second Amendment rights have been weakened. What this does is that this allows the voters of Iowa to decide. The voters of Iowa will decide how important their Second Amendment rights is. This is a high standard. I think it's very important, but most importantly, my response to anyone that asks questions is that, ultimately Iowans will decide if they want this added to their state constitution. And it should be taken very seriously. And our Second Amendment rights have been under attack. And this bill has been around for 6 years, way before, and I do not condone what happened in Washington, D.C. It was disgusting. This bill is not about that. This bill is allowing Iowans to decide how important their Second Amendment rights are. So that will conclude my closing comments, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Zahn. How do you wish to vote? Record roll call has been called for. Secretary will call the roll.
Senator Zahn.
Aye.
Senator Garrett.
Aye.
Okay.
Senator Garrett votes aye.
Garrett, can you please repeat the vote?
Yes.
Please, so everybody can hear it.
Senator Zahn votes aye. Senator Garrett votes aye.
Senator Kinney. No.
Senator Kinney votes no.
Senator Bolcom.
Senator Bolcom votes no.
Senator Bolton.
Senator Bolton votes no.
Senator Dawson.
Senator Dawson votes aye.
Senator Johnson.
Senator Johnson votes aye.
Senator Peterson.
Senator Peterson votes no.
Senator Reichman.
Senator Reichman.
Senator Taylor?
No, Senator Reichman.
Reichman, sorry. Senator Reichman votes aye.
Senator Schultz.
Senator Schultz votes aye.
Senator Shipley.
Senator Shipley votes aye.
Senator Sinclair.
Senator Sinclair votes aye.
Senator Taylor.
Senator Taylor votes aye.
Senator Whiting.
Senator Whiting votes aye.
10 ayes and 4 nays.
Their vote is 10 ayes and 4 nays. The resolution is adopted and will move on, be eligible for floor debate. And at this point, the chair will turn the chairmanship back to Chairman Zahn.